Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have a box that's been sent to me for review that we haven't seen for quite some time. Definitely a few months. It is Birdmoss. I love their box. I think it is so magical and so evocative of the contents inside each month. This box is unlike any other. I would call it a lifestyle box. It's definitely for those who have creative minds. There's often a DIY element. There's definitely a storytelling element. There's all kinds of poetry. So it takes a certain kind of person to enjoy this box, but the people who do really truly love it because it is so unique. So I understand if it's not, doesn't float your boat, but I just think it is really magical and fun, and you can really immerse yourself in the world from month to month because the box is all kind of tied together. So it is, I still think, $45 per month. I do have a code. It's just my name, Noel, and that'll save you $10 on your first box. I'll leave all of that information for you in the comments, in the pinned first comment, but also in the description box below. Now, it says, glimpse a magical world. Here it says, walk your own desire line, leave the road when you must. Now, when I first opened up this box, it did come in an outer box, and inside, you guys, I love it. As the days grow darker, you grow wiser. And then we have the Birdmoss poem, which has been inside of the box since I've been opening it. Beautiful green tissue paper and this lovely seal. But when I did open up the box, and I'm glad that I did because I don't always open up boxes. Sometimes I save that excitement for being with all of you. I did see this sheet of paper that said, a quick note for subscribers. When your swamp box arrives, please open it right away. It includes live ferns that will be ready for some light and air after their dark journey. When your box arrives, please place your ferns in water. Spring or dechlorinated is best, and give them a little sunshine at your convenience. Arrange them in the provided glass bowl to create a miniature water garden. It is normal to see dark green, pale green, brown, and even red leaves among your ferns. This variety of fern, the smallest ever discovered, can turn a pretty red in the sun. You may also find some dark stringy parts. Those are roots, and they'll grow downward in the water. It's called fairy moss, or Azalea caroliniana. It's native to much of the US but can grow quickly when unconstrained. So she does recommend it for indoor desktop gardens, not like your actual pond outdoors. As your ferns grow, change their water weekly. You can choose to supplement their water with a little phosphorus, but that's optional. So she tells you all the important instructions. Excuse me, I got choked up about the ferns, I think, you guys. So the ferns, honestly, it looked like a chunk of moss. It came in here. So what I did is I sort of lifted up one of the corners. I found my ferns, but it looked like moss to me. But I didn't read that part where it said it is the smallest fern. And I put it into the glass bowl that was also something that I pulled out from the side. And this is what mine looks like. Now, first of all, the glass bowl is fun because it has wonky edges. And then I went ahead and put it in. Now, a bunch of the little pieces, of course, they didn't make it in there because when you add the water, they all separate. They're not like one solid piece. So let me know if you got the swamp box from Birdmoss. Does yours look like this? So it does cover the surface. I do have green leaves. I probably got this about 3 or 4 days ago. I haven't noticed it necessarily growing a lot. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to change out the water without losing some of your ferns. So if any of you have some tips, or I'm doing it totally wrong, let me know. But I do think it's kind of a fun little weird garden to have. But just so you know, I did go ahead and follow the instructions. So this is a partial unboxing because I've already cheated and peeked inside. But let's go ahead and open it up now that I can actually tear the tissue paper and that little seal. Here we go. So, oh, look, I feel like there's a little pussy willow in there. So we always get a beautiful card that tells us what the theme is. So again, the theme is the swamp, beautiful image. And then it tells us a little bit about it on the back. And then we have a little letter that comes along with, wow, this one has a lot of writing on it. So usually, ooh, this one's called Asylum from the Brutes. Ooh, that sounds dark. And it tells us about the individual items, kind of in a story form. Sometimes they're actually really practical items, but they'll be imbued with a mystical, magical quality that goes along with the story. And then on the back, you guys, This is not normal. This is like this beautiful handwriting font that they use in this brown pen. I've really been liking brown ink myself. I use it in my day planner. So you can see she kind of annotates the letter, and then I'm not sure what this is. I don't doubt that we'll have time to read it, but there's a lot of care and thought that goes into this world of Birdmoss and each of the boxes. So let's see. I'm trying to think of where I should start. So this was the tissue paper that my little bowl was wrapped up in, and then here are the contents, the rest of the contents of the box. So let me go ahead and hold this up for you, and I will read the back. Travel beyond Birdmoss's forest, which is the world of Birdmoss that we're usually in. There's all kinds of like woodland creatures that are doing things. And you'll find a place where the ground grows muddy and uncertain. The path is narrower here, and it is flanked by a sign. The gentle-hearted may walk upon this water, for the brutes will be devoured. Ooh, dark. But like, the swamp is on your side, is what that's kind of saying. The swamp is a sanctuary, a magicked place of darkness and mysteries. Here there are flowers, scampering creatures, and occasional sunbeams, but also shadows, mushrooms, spider webs, and stretches of black water. Someone has built a leaning house of bark between the mossy trees. Interesting. So Asylum from the Brutes is our theme. It says you dream to the swamp. That's how you travel in this world, and pick your way across the wet ground. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 items in here. I will try to do them in order if I can. We already know 2 of the items. Oh no, that's a bummer. So my pussy willow twig only has one little fuzzy foot on it. The rest of them have kind of fallen off, but luckily I do actually have some pussy willow twigs in my house, but it must have gotten crushed. But yes, we have a bunch of the little fuzzies just kind of floating around, but let's see what it says. It says, you arrive moments before sunrise. See, they're all in there, but I just have this sad little twig. Pussy willows thrive in the swamp. In Birdmoss, perhaps because of its association with water, pussy willow is used to summon rain, but also to protect against lightning strikes. Quicken a twig by dipping it in water to gently shake forth blessings as the silvery drops scatter, soft like a mouse or a squirrel. So this is an example of an item that is natural and beautiful and can kind of be part of your little basket of treasures, but it doesn't necessarily have a huge like value to it, you know. So if you're looking for like a value box, it depends on 1, what you value, and 2, this might not be the box for you, because it's not like you're gonna get like super high-end brands in here. You're gonna get little treats and things that go along with the theme, like a pussy willow twig. All right, and then we have our miniature water garden. So this is interesting because this is actually considered 1 item. Let's see what it says along the side. A waterlogged hat, a rusted belt buckle, sodden bits of cloth. These are all that remain of the brutes who tried to enter because they got sucked in by the swamp. All right, so here is our miniature garden, our water garden. The swamp is rich with life. Some plants are of gargantuan proportions, while others are tiny and whimsical. Plant your own miniature water garden with ferns so minuscule they resemble moss. I didn't even read that part, you guys, when I was saying all of that. You receive a pressed glass bowl with a gently rippled rim that evokes the surface of the swamp. Wash your bowl and fill it with filtered or spring water, then spread your ferns on the surface. Place your garden in direct sunlight and change the water on a weekly basis. So yeah, I just don't know how to like, I try to do it with like a slotted spoon, but I don't know how to remove them from the water without them sticking to the bowl or the spoon. So if any of you have an idea, or you've been doing this for a while, please let me know. But we got our little miniature water garden. All right, next we have dried mushrooms in an apothecary jar. So this is really cool. So it says, you knock on the door to the hut. That was the hut they told us about on that card. And Storm Swift, that's a capital S, Storm Swift invites you inside. As your eyes adjust to the dim interior, you see that the walls are lined with provisions and supplies. Bunches of herbs, bottles of jewel-tone preserves, jars of wild rice, and dried mushrooms. Storm Swift offers you a jar of dried shiitake mushrooms. Add them to your pantry or your altar. She seems very resourceful. That was in the little annotations. So these are shiitake mushrooms that you could use in your own cooking. And often that's how like things are sort of disguised in Birdmoss words, right? Well, we might get like a self-care item like bath salts, but it'll be some sort of potion that you use, you know? All right, Storm Swift's Jottings. It says the hut supplies extend beyond foodstuffs. Storm Swift has amassed all kinds of resources, patterns for aprons and sun hats, diagrams of garden layouts, books on animal husbandry, stockpiles of beeswax, sewing needles, and soap. You also find her copious notes, including a compilation of recipes. So here is a really cute image of a little book with a mushroom, like a little recipe book. So let me see, that's probably at the bottom. It is. All right, so looks like she made a little book. It says receipts, but I think it's recipes. Look at that beautiful design. It's on both sides. And inside, oh wow, it's like all handwritten. So we have how to use dried mushrooms, like, you know, first soaking them. So we have this beautiful mushroom image, then information about how to use dried mushrooms. And then we have a recipe for, let's see, did I skip a page? Yes. Risotto with dried shiitake. Yes. Dutch oven bread, no kneading necessary. I can't believe she handwrote all of this. And then it shows a picture of swamp water is full of life, but should not be consumed. Yes, don't drink your ferns. Teas, tisanes, etc. How do you say tisanes? Tisane? Quick hand pies. Still ways to use, I don't know. I don't know if that's still ways to use your mushrooms. Maybe it is. And then we have a picture of birds and more mushrooms. What a cool, fun little book. Like little treasures, you guys. That's what this is all about. While we're at it, let's actually have a secret password. So, because I feel like this box speaks of secrets, the secrets of the swamp in this case. So when you come across the secret password in one of my videos, you want to enter it along with your contact information in the Google form that is linked for you in the description box below. Please don't put it into the comments because then I have to delete your comment and that's no fun. You have to be 18 years or older, you have to have a US or Canadian mailing address, and you do have to be subscribed to my channel. Essentially, about 5 days into the following month. So in this case, this is the June secret password giveaway. About 5 days into July, so after the 4th of July holiday, I'll use a random number picker to select a few winners to receive mystery boxes as my way of saying thank you for watching my videos and collecting and submitting the passwords. So each password is an entry. You can't submit them more than once, but there's usually anywhere from 10 to 12 each month. And then the winners receive a mystery box. It is not affiliated with YouTube or any of the boxes that I open here on the channel. It is just my way of saying thank you so much for watching my channel. All right, so that was Storm Swift's jottings, right? But really it's a recipe book and how to use those mushrooms that she gave us. A glass instrument. So I love these kinds of jewelry boxes where you can kind of see through it and it's just like plastic that keeps it captured. But it's really great for your jewelry because you can see it and then it's airtight. So it's a really cool, I'm going to take that little guy out of there. So there are these little like clamshell jewelry boxes which people have started to use more. And I just think they're really great if you do have a jewelry drawer. One, if you're worried about things tarnishing, especially like silver, for example, when it, you know, touches oxygen, they're great for that. And you can see everything and things don't get tangled. Oh my goodness, is this a bug? This is a little bug stuck in glass. Oh goodness. So if you don't like bugs, you might not like this. I find I'm not a big bug fan, but I don't mind when they're like encased in glass. So, oh dear, he's stuck in there. Forgive the reflection, but there he is. Okay, so glass instrument. Oh, this is actually our arthropod sphere. Sorry, there is a glass instrument, but that's probably what's in the box. The swamp is a safe harbor for creeping creatures like insects and spiders. Sometimes Storm Swift lies on the ground to watch their movements. Their lives are short. She finds them beautiful, even in death, and preserves their forms for closer study. She offers you an orb for your own curiosity cabinet. So it's like people who like collect beetles or butterflies. It says, my sister also loves these creatures. Sometimes she sends a green beetle to check on me. That's from Storm Swift. It's got quotes. Exploring the swamp, you find a stash of fish and frog bones. Who else seeks sanctuary here? Then we have a little note about different colors and what they mean. So maybe the glass instrument has something to do with it. It says, don't squeeze it even if you're tempted. So I think this is our glass instrument. But you can see how opening up this box is really an experience every time. All right, so, oh goodness. What is this? It's like a wand. Wow, this really looks like a potion that you would have sitting in your like apothecary desk or cabinet. So how cool is that? I wonder if you're supposed to turn it upside down. Probably not, but I think that is so cool. I wonder. So it says, Red is for self-knowledge, green is for growth, blue is for peace, and purple is for empathy. I actually need help sometimes being more empathetic. So this is probably meant for me. Don't squeeze it even if you're tempted. A workbench in the corner holds a miniature distillery, some kind of steam-powered clock, and all kinds of blown glass vessels. Your host has been studying the workings of vapor pressure, clouds, rain, and electrical storms. She shows you a delicate instrument and instructs you to cup its liquid-filled chamber in your hands for a few moments. Oh, so it's like heat activated? I don't know. Oh, did you see that, you guys? That was so cool. Oh my gosh. So look at that. It's like having all of these on your bookshelf. I mean, people would think you're a witch, but I kind of love it. It's like so magical. This is so neat. All right, so then you can set it, and the bottom of that big bulb is flat, so you can set it down and then watch it kind of swirl back down. That is so cool. I've never actually seen anything like that. Man, talk about something that would delight kids, but also it is very fragile because it is glass. You can tell it's like hot from just my hands holding it there. It's pretty hot today, but look at that. It reacts really quickly. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. So, so cool. All right, putting that off to the side. What is this? The stories say that into a family of 5 or more sisters, a pair of twins was born. Unlike their bright-faced sisters, the twins were dark and downy. At night, they slept entwined, and in the day, they spoke a language of their own making. While other girls sang and circled the maypole, the twins scratched in the dirt, arranging pebbles and seeds in swirling patterns. As they grew up, they stood taller than anyone else in the village. So this must be Stormswift and her sister. Should I keep reading it? I'm going to keep reading it. The neighbors tolerated the twins and their strange ways until a newcomer arrived. He promised the villagers new kinds of magic that would make the trees bear heavy fruit. Despite his guarantees, that spring a drought shriveled the crops and parched the forest. When cornered by the locals, he claimed that the twins and their sigils had cursed the fields. After that, the villagers distrusted the twins, turning them away from shops and thresholds. Heartbroken, the twins struck out from their village, walking for a day and a night. Before the sun rose again, a great thunderstorm descended. At first the sisters were frightened, but as waves of lightning blanched the landscape and rain drummed upon the leaves, they grew exhilarated. For the first time they unfurled their wings and took to the sky. As they swooped, the thunder growled. When they gestured, the earth and streams and plants responded. They stirred up the dirt until the ground became muddy and uncertain. They gave each other new names, Stormswift and Darkwing. Seeking vengeance, Stormswift magicked the squelching ground so that it would devour all brutes. She called the place Orcus, or the Punisher of Broken Oaths. Darkwing, seeking to temper her sister's wrath, cast a spell of her own, declaring that the gentle-hearted would be able to walk upon the water. She scattered lily and lotus seeds across the swamp so the plants could pave a path for the guileless. Thus enchanted, the swamp became the twins' sanctuary. Eventually, Darkwing went off to explore on her own. She settled in a place where no one knows her name. Stormswift remains in the hut she built herself, protected by the moat of the swamp. She sighs with satisfaction when she sees bad actors swallowed by the mud, but for the most part, she lives quietly and self-sufficiently. Wow, we got like a whole story. Like, don't you want to hear more about, like, I am not much of a fantasy person, but and these amounts that that Birdmoss gives to us, I wanted to know more about Darkwing, obviously. I'm totally into it. So they're forsaken. I don't know why that guy had to say that they were the reason that they had a drought. But so they've gone off to themselves and they have wings and they have created this sanctuary in the swamp that gets rid of the bad people, but the true of heart, they're fine and they can walk across the water, across all those little ferns. I mean, can't you just like imagine this whole world? It's just amazing. This is still crazy to me. I'm just like, watch it go. What? That is so cool. So, so cool. It's like magic. All right. Speaking of magic, and we did have a secret password, right? Or did I tell you about it and not give you the password? The password is swamp. We're going to have it be swamp. Sorry, guys. I do that all the time. I'll talk about all the rules and the regulations, and I don't tell you the secret password. The secret password is swamp. Go back and watch the rules if you skipped ahead. She always gives us a little charm or at least a hint of what the next box will be. I don't know if I'll get to review the June box. This is the May box, the swamp box. It says, in June, meet the raccoons, and there's this little fishbone charm. It's so cute. So you could definitely have your Birdmoss charm bracelet. But raccoons, you guys, well, trash pandas, I love them. I really hope I get that box because I love me a raccoon. I just think they are adorable. I know they like bother some of you because they dig through your trash, but I just think they're great. So I want to hear more about the swamp and our little raccoon friends. Thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate your support in the form of likes and comments and following me over on Instagram. I should have videos for you through the 8th, and then it's going to be every other day, but I'll tell you a little bit more about the schedule in an upcoming video. Thanks so much.